Okay. So welcome everybody. Mary and I are still recovering. She went with me last week on a ritual retreat to Peru. So a couple years ago, I wanted to do this retreat down in Peru, but they were having a lot of problems kind of cropping up in the country. And it became a big travel advisory not to go there. So I pushed pause and we ended up going this year when things have settled down, and it was phenomenal. So I don't know if you've ever been to South America. It was my first time ever crossing past Central America into South America. And it was so beautiful. The Andes Mountains are just stunning. So if you ever have a chance to go, highly suggest it. So I turned 50 last week, and one of the reasons I scheduled it for last week was I was thinking, where do I want to be when I turn 50? Because that's a hallmark birthday, It's like, all right, you at least gone half of your life. Let's see what happens to the other half. And so I decided I wanted to be on sacred ground, which is why I planned this. And they treated me amazingly. I think I got sung to like 3 times that day. And I specifically scheduled it where we could be in Machu Picchu for my 50th birthday. And we kind of traveled around the country. We started off in Ollantaytambo, which is a lower village with lower elevation, so you can acclimate to the high altitude. And we stayed there a couple of days before we went to Machu Picchu, which was even a little bit higher elevation than where we were in the village. We stayed there a couple of days, and then we took off to Cusco, which is even higher elevation. And then we went on to Rainbow Mountain, which was 17,000 feet, which is the same height as the base camp of Mount Everest. And I was the only one that went down that day. I went up the mountain, I came down the mountain, and a massive headache. I had shakes, and it was a little nerve-wracking when I came down because everybody else seemed to be doing just peachy except for me. But I just needed to recover from the altitude, and once I recovered, I was totally fine. But it was so gorgeous. This practice is going to be stemming from inspiration from that trip. So I'll go ahead and say in Machu Picchu, it was amazing just to be there early in the morning and to hike up to the top and then just get that first peek on what you typically see photographs of, this ancient Inca civilization that was just abandoned at some point when the Spanish had come in and was trying to colonize the country. And it's just amazing to see all that leftover architecture, that's half fallen in and half still standing, and it's just gorgeous. Well, the next day, half of us braved climbing Huayna Picchu. How do you say it? Huayna Picchu? Huayna Picchu, yeah. And that's the mountain you see at Machu Picchu. So Machu Picchu is called after the south-facing mountain, which is never actually in photographs. The Huayna Picchu mountain is the one you see in the photographs, and it's literally like straight up. And most of us decided, okay, we're going to do this because we're here. We came all this way, and we had the permits to go. We were literally, it wasn't even a hike. It was like climbing stairs and crawling upstairs, but it's not very. We were literally crawling to the top of this mountain. And the most gorgeous thing about this particular day that we were climbing the mountain was that we were in a cloud forest. And so what a cloud forest is, it's kind of the atmosphere that you get right before you move into like the rainforest. So it's not quite the rainforest, it's called cloud forest. And so there's just clouds everywhere. And so as we're climbing up this mountain, we are literally above and mixed in with all the clouds. So we're going to be doing a cloud salutation today, and we are going to be mixing our moon and sun salutations today because last week while we were gone, we started the eclipse season. So we had the lunar eclipse last week, and we're moving into the solar eclipse that is actually happening on Monday. So Monday, I'll talk more about the solar eclipse. But we'll be doing a combination between sun and moon cell today. And then we'll be adding in something else that comes from the Inca civilization. The Incas believed in the underworld, the middle world, and the upper world. And if you look at the tree of life actually represents the underworld, the middle world, the upper world. The underworld is like the roots of the tree. And the middle world is like the trunk of the tree, and the upper world is like the branches of the tree. Well, they have this sacred symbol in the Inca lineage, and it's called the Andean cross. And it's also called the Shakana. And the Shakana basically is a circle in the middle, and that circle represents the navel of the world, or what was kind of the hub of Inca civilization, which was this town Cusco. And then it looks like a cross because it has the 4 different directions going on. But the 4 different directions, because the Inca civilization was so steeped in shamanism, it represents the 4 cardinal directions. So north, south, east, west. The north goes back to the element of earth. The south goes back with the element of fire. The east goes with the element of air. And the west refers to the element of water. And so with this shamanic culture, they very much worship nature, and were very embedded in nature and relied on their knowledge of nature in order to really survive and thrive. In that Andean cross, there's also 3 different little grooves or sections, and it really kind of almost looks like the way they did their agriculture. You know, the way they did the rock formations, the rock walls up the mountainside to do farming and different things like that. But that actually represents the 3 worlds, lower, middle, higher. With each of these was an animal that went with it. So the lower world, the snake was equivalent to it. In the middle world, the puma, because the pumas live up in the mountains. And the upper world was the condor, because the birds are seen as the messengers between earth and heaven, so heaven to the earth. So we're going to be putting this into our practice today. And I want you to begin on your belly in a passive crocodile pose. So the way we come into this pose, we separate the feet. I would suggest giving a little bit of a rock to your hips. And crossing your arms in front of your chest to place your head down. And then as soon as you get into this position, I suggest closing the eyes. And as you're gazing in up into your mind's eye, this is the place of our imagination, dreams, insight, foresight, but also intuition. See if you can picture in your mind that famous picture of Machu Picchu, this sacred land up in the Andes Mountains. And if you're unsure of what it looks like, just picture a mountain, a steep mountain, mostly made of stone. And as you're gazing it up to the mind's eye, it's as if you're gazing towards the peak of the mountain or gazing up towards the hills. Feel a weight here at your belly. Start to breathe down into your belly. The section around your navel. And feel how your belly starts to expand and balloon along with your lungs as you breathe in. And as you exhale, feel your lungs deflate and your belly retract back in towards yourself. And then continue making these deep diaphragmatic breaths to help you to
Center your focus before we begin any other mindful movement. It's okay to even constrict the back of your throat to allow the breath to become more audible to hear, such as with the Ujjayi breath. Take 3 more. And on your next inhale, go ahead and zip the legs and the feet closer together, elongating them towards the backside of your mat. Press the top of the feet to the floor and feel how your glutes begin to engage. Keep your buttocks nice and firm. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Press down through your palms and slowly start to lift up to your Bhujangasana, your cobra snake. And then as you exhale, you're gently going to roll down, but keep your glutes firm, your legs reaching back, your toes pointed. Inhale, rolling up again, second Bhujangasana. Strengthening your back muscles, looking out ahead. And as you exhale, gently roll back down towards your brow. Let's do one more, power of 3. Inhale, bringing it back up. And then once you come all the way up, go ahead and lower, but you're going to hover your head this time. Curl the back toes under, pluck your knees off the ground, squeeze the arms close to the sides of your body, and push through your hands and feet, draw up through your navel center, and extend your arms so you're rising into your plank. Now hold your plank, but glide your chest forward, elongate through your neck. And then as you exhale, pick up your hips and carry them up and back to your downward facing dog. Now gaze at your feet. Maybe walk the feet a little bit closer together. Grounding your hands, extending long through your arms and flying up through your sits bone. Let your ears reside inside your arm bones. Take some deep yogic breaths. So we're forming downward facing dog, but remember when I went to India, they called this pose mountain there. So you can think of the mountains as you're creating the shape of your body. Now on your next in breath, you're going to step your left foot all the way forward and up between your hands. As you spin down to your back foot, you're going to turn your left toes towards the corner of the mat, so be facing the windows. Walk your hands down the long edge side of your mat, so you're coming into Skandasana. Lunge your left knee and straighten out your right leg. And you're just kind of hovering and holding here, stretching the inner thigh muscles, opening up your hips. Good, so we call this crouching tiger when we start to walk the hands now towards the right foot, turning it towards the corner of the mat. Lunging the right knee, straightening your left leg. Pausing and holding here. This is going to be our Puma today. The closest thing I can get in these animal named poses. Walk it over towards your left foot. It's like you're prowling around at the top of the mountains, and then bring it over again to the right. Good, moving it back to the left foot. And then again, over to the right. Now what's going to turn or change here is we're going to face the back side of the mat, facing that back wall, spinning onto the ball of the back foot. So now you're in lunge pose. Good, but what we're going to do here is we're going to launch up into airplane pose, where we're lifting the back leg off the floor. You're heading out our wings, hinging from the hips, looking down right below the face. Even though this is airplane pose, this is gonna be our condor pose today. What represents the upper world? Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lunge the right knee, bring your hands down to frame that foot. Walk your hands back to the inside, turning your right toes toward the corner of the mat. Back to the puma, representing the middle world. Walking your hands over to the left. Good, now turning the feet, framing the front foot with your hands, now facing the front of the room. Good, when you're ready, launching up into your airplane pose. Spreading the wings nice and broad. Finding your balance. Finding your focus. And breathe. When you're ready, come up to stand. Lower the right foot. Bring the arms down beside you, standing in your Tadasana. Now we're gonna go into the cloud salutation. We want soft bent knees here. And you're gonna lift your right wrist and your left knee simultaneously. And as you exhale, tiptoe down, lower your right hand. Pick up your left wrist, right knee. Softly descend. It's almost like you're walking on the moon. Like a puppet master. This is our cloud salutation. It's a Tai Chi type element. Still synchronizing breath with movements. Let's do one more to each. Good, once you establish both feet on the floor, stack your leg bones, engage your muscles, engage your bandhas, bring your hands to namaste at the heart. Good, inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Grab a hold of your left wrist, plug down your left foot, and sweep over to the right. Inhale, up to the top. Exhale, lower the hand down, step to your left side, bring your feet to be square with each other, hands to your hips, shoulders roll back. Exhale, hinge down. So let the crown of the head start to face the floor if possible. Keep your shoulders back, your elbows rising, and your feet really rooted. Prasarita Padottanasana. Opening up your hamstrings, opening up this main meridian in the body. And then plug the feet down and inhale, use the back of your heart to come up. Separate your arms out shoulder height. Rotate your right foot towards the front side of the room. Lengthen over, windmill down to your triangle pose, your Trikonasana. Your left hand is flared up in the air. Shoulders are stacked. Nice, long, linear lines. Breath staying wide open. Affirming here as you hold, energy and joy flow down to me. Now look down towards your right foot. Lunge the right knee, spin off your back heel. Step into your plank position. Exhale, rock forward, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, slide through an up to up dog. Exhale, roll back to downward facing dog. Lifting out of your wrists, out of your elbows, out of your shoulders, out of your rib cage. And up and out to your seats. Inhale, lift your heels high, restack shoulders over your wrist, elongating the body. Rock forward, lower down to chaturanga, hover if you can. Inhale, coming to upward facing dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Good. On your next inhalation, go ahead and fly up through your heels. Roll forward back to your plank position. Take one more vinyasa. Lower to chaturanga, building that body strength. Rising, bringing flexibility to the spine. Exhale, use your navel center to rock and roll back. And reverse. Now on your next in breath, go ahead and bring the right foot all the way back up in between your hands again. Flatten your left palm. Circle that right arm skyward. Lift your back thigh up towards the sky. Lunge the right knee just slight bit deeper. You got it. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. Establish your left foot alongside your right. Come halfway up when you do, lengthening out through the vertebrae. Exhale, gently release. Holding your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Push the feet down, lift your kneecaps up. Let your arms, head, and neck go. Firming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold you down or back. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, bring hands home to the heart. Good, inhale, let your arms circle wide and overhead. This time, grab a hold of your right wrist, push down through your right foot, sway to your left side. Opening up this other side panel of the body in Chandrasana, crescent moon. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release your arms. Step off to the right. Have your feet square again. Activate your bandhas for your infrastructure. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Bring the hands down this time. Keep your hands inside the feet. Bend the elbows, but squeeze them towards each other. So now you're in a different variation of this pose. Slurp your quads close to your thigh bone. Otherwise, you're just hanging out into a stretch. You want some of the muscles actually building strength, not only to support the stretch, but that you're actually doing the pose in a more active, fulfilling way. On your next in-breath, hands slide back up to your waistline. Go ahead and climb all the way back up to stand. Good, extend your arms out shoulder height. Rotate your left foot towards the front of the mat. Push back into your hips. Stretch out over the left leg. Good, bring that hand down to the shin. Right arm up overhead. Now you can also challenge yourself, placing the hand in front of the shin instead of cupping it. And then it'll make you engage your core more. So even if you are cupping the shin, you can still engage your core. Zipping up through the midriff, that Uddiyana Bandha. And then affirming energy and joy, flow down to me. When you're ready, lunge into that left knee, bring your hands down to frame the foot, roll off your back heel, left foot plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, fly through and up. Open your heart. Exhale, rock and roll back. Downward facing dog. Again, inhale, coming to your plank, shifting shoulders over your wrist. Rock forward, shoulders go past the wrist in order to lower, correct? Inhale, rise up. Exhale, roll it back. Pause for a moment, collect your breath. All right, one more vinyasa, coming forward into your plank. Exhale to that low push-up. Inhale, glide to your back bend. And exhale to your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha. Good, from here, we're gonna bring that left foot forward and up between the hands. Plant your right palm, circle that left arm skyward. Instead of allowing that back knee to drag down, plug it up. And then lunge your left knee slightly more. Revolving side angle. Bring that left hand down, reestablish your right foot alongside your left. Come halfway up, hands to your shins, shoulders crank back away from your ears. And then exhale, let go. Let that blood flow come down into your face, down into the sensory organs, down towards the pituitary and pineal glands in the head. Next in breath, root your feet, sweep the arms to your sides and up. And then exhale, bring hands back home, sweep home to the heart. All right, we're coming back into the cloud salutation, lifting right wrist, left knee. And then settling it down to the floor. Inhale, left wrist right. And then release. Synchronize it with your breath instead of allowing it to be mechanical, because that's where the true yoga comes in. Gazing at one specific spot. One more to each. Lower the foot, lower your hand. Stand, feet pressing, arms beside you, locking in your legs, locking in your bandhas. And bring your hands to namaste at the heart. All right, let's continue. Inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up. Grab a hold of your left wrist, elongate your left side body, curve to the right. So when we open the left panel of the body, it's the lunar side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, step to your left. You're gonna square the feet. This time you're gonna circle the hands around behind your back. Link them up together, shoulders roll back, arms lengthen out. Exhale, hinge down. Bringing some shoulder work into the mix. Squeeze the palms more together, even if they can't quite touch. Inhaling, drawing yourself back to stance. Exhale, release your hands apart. Turn your right foot towards the short edge side of your mat. Open out your arms again, lunge the right knee. Take Virabhadrasana 2. Now roll open through your right thigh. Make sure you can see your right big toe if you glance down. Glance back at your back arm. Make sure it's the same height as the front arm. Try to evenly distribute your weight between each leg, each foot, even though they're in a different shape. My balance has been really off, so don't look at me. But we're going to launch and stand on the right leg, reaching that right arm forward. So in other words, you can bounce the back foot closer if need be. And we're going to pick it up. And then lunge the right knee, plop the left foot back down, returning to your warrior 2. You've got it. Exhale, bring your right hand to the outside of the right foot if you can. If you can't quite place the hand to the ground, then rest your elbow on the knee instead. Creating this variation of your side angle, Parsvakonasana. All right, when you're ready, lower the left hand down, spin off your back heel. Right foot comes to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down to your chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, lift to up dog. Exhale, roll it back. Downward facing dog. Here we go. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, lower down and hover. Inhale, open the chest, throat. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, coming forward, plank. Exhale, drop down, hover if you can. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps through. Pick up your hands, glue them together, hover over your front knee. All right, if you can take that twist, left elbow will go to the outside of your leg, and you're gonna wind yourself around into the twist. If you wanna just hover, and fixate your gaze, that's okay too. Beautiful breath. Beautiful you. Unwind, land your palms, bring that back foot and step it through. Folding down. Inhale, lift up halfway, create some space. And then exhale, reload. Inhale all the way up to the top. Exhale, bring hands down the midline to the heart. All right, inhale, arms circle up. Clasp a hold of that right wrist. Elongate your right side body. Sway to the left and open up the solar panel side. Inhale up. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, step to your right. Square off the feet. Lace your fingers together behind your back. Shoulders roll back. Heart opens wide. Exhale, drop in. And shift your weight forward towards your toes. Keep your knuckles reaching up towards the heavens. Crown reach down towards the ground. Use your breath for fuel, for focus, for replenishment. And inhale, drive up. Exhale, separate your hands. Turn your left foot. Lunge that left knee. Open out your arms. Roll open through your left thigh. Make sure you have a clear vision of the left big toe. Check in with your back arm. It tends to want to drop. Make sure it's to the same height as the other. Make sure the head's over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. And then we're going to launch into that balancing pose. So if you need to hop the back foot forward in order to find that fulcrum of balance, lunge the left knee, shoot the right leg back, set it down. Returning to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, elbow to the knee, if that's better for your body. Or left hand stacking on the floor to the outside of the front foot. And yes, blocks are acceptable to bring the floor to you. You can meet yourself halfway. Good. Exhale, right hand down, spin off the back heel. Reestablish your plank position. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale to Adho Mukha. So instead of rushing through the motion, let your breath carry you. Inhale, let it carry you to plank. Exhale, let it bring you down to your little push-up. Let your in breath build you to up dog. Let your out breath continue to your downward facing dog. Good, one more vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, uplift. Exhale, roll it back. Inhale, left foot forward. Hands are going to join together. Your upper body's going to hover over your front thigh. So if this is your ideal pose right now, be here. If you can move it into your twist, then wind your way around. Dial your heart towards your thumbs. Stay in command of your breath. Exhale, unwind the hands. Spring the back foot forward. Close into self. Head draping down towards your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop back down and in. Inhale, fly all the way up. Exhale, bring hands home, sweet home to the heart. Okay. Relax your arms down. We got the cloud salutation. Just reestablish this deep connection to your breath. The breath is the heart of yoga. One more to each. Now, standing in your Tadasana, hands rejoining together to prayer position. This time we're going to lace the fingers up. We're going to turn the wrists skyward, and we're going to really straighten out through the elbows as much as you can. And as equally as you're flying up through your palms, I want you to push down through your soles of your feet. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, separate your hands. Take your left foot back, but your toes are going to turn out. You're going to lunge the knees and call a goddess. But instead of bringing the arms to the goddess position, you're actually going to drip your hands to the floor so that you're really sinking and surrendering into your hips. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you're welcome to uplift your heels and stay stacked on the balls of the feet. Heels down or up is fine. Holding, keep breathing, stay committed to both your body and breath. All right, now lift your heels, turn them back behind your toes, set them down, straighten out through your legs, and this time you're walking your hands through the back side of your legs as best you can. Now, this is where blocks can also come in great, because you can actually set your hands on blocks and slide the blocks through the legs, if this is hard to manage. So notice how you can drop them a little deeper, maybe the crown is facing the floor more, activating that crown chakra. Ready? Walk your hands back through. Walk them forward and out. Lengthen through the shaft of the spine so that your head is up, more in line with your heart. Place your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Once you come up to stand, rotate your right foot towards the short edge side of the mat. Expand your arms, lengthen out over the right leg. Back to triangle pose, what we did that first flow with. Now spin your top hand, thread it behind your back, roll open through the left shoulder. Good, re-elevate your left hand. Use that left arm to pull yourself back to stand. Uplift your right hand along the way. Lunge the right knee. Maybe heel toe the left foot back. You have a little bit longer stance for your warrior. Keep spinning open through your thighs. When you're ready, pop the left foot forward. Maybe launch out with your right hand, picking up your left foot. Lunge the right knee, settle the left foot to the ground, realign your spine. Exhale, side angle, elbow to the knee or hand to the ground or block. This time, lower your left hand, spin off your back heel, bring that right hip and clip it close to your body. This time, the left hand's gonna go to the outside of your foot, arm to the outside of that front knee, and reach that right arm out and back behind you. A different variation of your side angle, and you can come back to the other forms if that works better for you today. Good. Bring your right hand down. Bring it to the long side of your mat. Lower your left heel. Spin your right toes to the corner. Pick up your left heel. Slide your left foot closer. Do like your half squats. If you need Sandasana as a modification, maybe your knee can't handle this much flexion, it's okay to do that Puma or crouching tiger form of Sandasana instead. You got it. Walk your hands over toward the back side of your mat. Pick up your left heel. Safely flip your right foot, toes lifting skyward. Again, if you need another form of Sandasana, what we're using is Puma pose today, you're welcome to take an alternative. When you're ready, walk the hands back down the front edge side of your mat. Frame that front foot with your hands. Step back into your plank. Now we're going to change up the vinyasa. Rock forward, lower down, all the way to your belly. Lower to your ground. Lift and stretch both legs back behind you a couple times over. Once your feet are glued to the mat, shoulders pull back away from your ears. Elbows squeeze to the side body. Inhale, Bhujangasana. And then elbows squeezing more. Exhale, lower to the brow. You wanted to turn that heat on earlier? Inhale, roll it up. Just me, huh? Exhale, lower. Keep your glutes nice and firm. Your pubic bone is your primary foundation. Inhale, rolling up to snake. Exhale, back down. All right, here we go. Inhale, push up. Exhale, extend child's pose. This one, keep your hands super glued to your mat. So you feel that deep stretch in the underside of the arms and into the pits of the arms. Take a few deep breaths here. This is a really important stretch. If we want to cleanse lymph nodes, if we want to keep the lymphatic tissues cleaned out in the chest, it requires deep stretching, deep breathing. And this is one of the poses that can do that for us. Inhale, rock up. Exhale, down dog. Alright, so the right foot is gonna step forward and up between the hands. And this time we're gonna come back into Dakasana, what's being our condor today. And then if you want to amp it up, you can flap your wings, or you can dip and rise. Lowering the left foot and coming up to stand. Hands to prayer position. We just got one more side. Lace up your fingers. Reach the palm sky. Exhale, lean to the left. Push down, especially through your right foot. Inhaling up. Exhale as you release your hands, you're stepping to the left. Knees are bent, thighs are rolling out. And you're gonna lean forward like you did before, onto the fingertips. If you wanna amp it up, you can lift your heels. If you want to crisscross your hands to create the spider pose, you can also do that maneuver. If you're in spider, uncross your hands. Spin your heels back behind your toes, set them down to the ground. This time the hands are walking forward. And again, you can use blocks to slide them out in front of you. It's kind of like a wide leg version of down dog. Except your heels are grounded. Walk your hands in, lift your head to be in line with your heart. That will even out the blood flow. And if you're ever going through a period of vertigo, or if you ever have dental surgery, and your mouth is still healing, you should really be more level. So just take that mental note in case you need it in the future. Take your hands to your hips, slowly bring it up. Rotate your left foot towards the short edge side of the mat. Splay your arms, launch into Trikonasana, your triangle pose. So the 3 points, the foundations, the feet, the pinnacles, the hand, but we're gonna take that pinnacle away. So spin the top hand, thread it behind your back. This is opening up different meridians in the arms. There's 3 that travel on the outside and 3 that travel up the inside. Good. Splay the right arm back up. Draw yourself up to stand. Lunge the left knee. And if you feel like you need a little bit wider stance, you can always heel toe the back foot away. And then once you come into your Virabhadrasana 2, this is where we're going to take that next balancing pose. It's okay to drop the back arm. It's okay to hop that back foot forward in order to find, again, that fulcrum of balance. Recommit to warrior 2. Find your side angle next. Your version, your way. Each side may be unique. Bringing the right hand down, spinning off that right heel. We're going to go ahead and take another variation. Side angle. The reverse twist. For the belly spinning towards that front knee. Good, unwind, plant your palms, left foot, plank. Exhale, rock forward, come down to the belly, all the way down. Untuck your feet. Stretch the leg bones back. Shoulders print back from the ears. Lifting, cobra snake. Exhale, descend. We're doing the power of 3. Now, if I don't pay close enough attention, my heels will start to roll out. And you really want your heels to turn in. All right. Last set. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, spill down. All right, inhale to all fours. And then rock your hips back towards your feet. Take your extended child's pose. Keep your elbows up. It's okay if the head needs to hover. Contraction into your back. Space between each vertebra as you lengthen your arms forward and out. Rock up hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here, left foot steps through. Hands cross over to the longest side of the mat. Now again, you can do this variation today, the Sprouting Tiger Puma version, or you can lift your left heel, sit in its direction, and pick up your right toes. Now, just to change it up, since we did this on the previous side, if you want a deeper stretch, you can turn your torso towards the straight leg, and you're welcome to bow over it. You may or may not want that. And out of that twist, and then bring it to the opposite side. And again, you can stay here, or you can spin that belly around towards the straight leg and fold over it. That's in your wheelhouse. Bring it back around. Safely return to the front edge side of your mat. But this is where we're going to launch up into that airplane, our final condor. And if you want to flap your wings, or if you want to feel as though you're coming up and down, 2 different elevations or altitudes here, you're welcome to. Next time you come up, land your right foot, and bring the arms down. How are we doing? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Separate your feet. Bring it down. Into a squat. So one of the coolest scenery, well, I don't know, it was all cool, wasn't it, Mary?
Yes.
It was all good. But there is a train ride that you take between Ollantaytambo up to Machu Picchu town. And the scenery is just breathtaking. So we're gonna come down. You just stay so you can see what I'm doing. And this is our train, okay? So it's some sneaky core work. So once you come down to your back, you're just pedaling your legs together. So different than a bicycle. I just think train. Your arms are creating the same motion as your legs. Keep it repetitive. Three, 2, and 1. Now separate your knees, grab the feet, and take happy baby pose. cooling down now. So the hips are supposed to be the main hub of movement in the body, similar to shoulders. And if you traveled this past week or over the weekend for the Easter holiday, your hips probably need some opening, circulation. I'm gonna let you choose your final inversion today. So if you wanted to plant your feet underneath bent knees and lock your arms beside your body, you can lift into a bridge pose. Right, where your thighs are rolling in, your hamstrings are fired up, your buttocks is fired up, your arms are pushing down. If you prefer shoulder stand or headstand, you're welcome to take one of those poses. And if you don't feel like engaging too much, you can stay flat on your back and just float your legs in the air. This is a simple waterfall variation. And then I would like you to come out of your inversion and set up for your Shavasana. And for today's Shavasana, I would suggest that bolster take hold and set up underneath your thighs and knees. Your hands spun open beside you. And if you grab one of those towels to cover your eyes, you're welcome to use that as a shield, or you can just close your lids. I figured today for our Shavasana, I could take you through Shamanic Journey. I was telling the group that went with us this week, yoga's history and beginnings began in shamanism. As you close and rest your eyes, keep your drishti focused at your mind's eye at the midpoint of your brow, as if you were looking into a dark movie screen. As your breath slows, I want you to picture in your mind's eye, you're beginning to hear the sound of the drum. Beating at a certain rhythm. Imagine this movie is playing out before you, where the picture starts to become clear of you standing near the edge of trees, woods, forests.
You're being drawn in. And you're taking a path through the woods, seeing the sunlight shining through, shimmering through the treetops, and highlighting particular things in the forest floor. Whether it's ferns or moss, wildflowers, tree stump. As you make your way down the path, you find a clearing. There's this massive boulder that you take rest. As you're sitting on this big rock, you hear some rustling in the trees in front of you. And you begin to see two eyes watching. And as you watch, you start to notice an animal coming close. And they're not scared, and you're not scared. There's a peaceful rapport between you both. What type of animal is this? Let it become clear. Let it come close and sit in front of you. Notice if there's anything else in the exchange. Maybe some words of wisdom. As this animal telepathically connects to you. As it nods, realize it's wanting you to follow. So you follow this animal spirit guide to another patch of trees until you get to the edge of the mountainside. It's taking you to the side of the mountain where there's a cave. The drumming gets louder. It begins to speed up. So you walk inside the cave and you see before you a glimmering light. So you head towards the light. Find there's a fire. And as you sit next to the fire and watch it doing some fire gazing, someone appears. Maybe an angel or an ascended master or a departed loved one, or even your higher self. Give you a gift. Give you anything, something simple, something sentimental or valuable. Notice what it is. Hang on to that gift. And thank this being. take the gift with you as you depart the cave. Your animal spirit guides waiting for you. Begins you to follow. It takes you alongside. Crystal clear. As that water's flowing, reach down. Just splash some water on the face, or to take a drink of water, and you see your reflection. What is being reflected back to you? Mental note, because you may or may not look as you are today. Pretty. Follow the animal back to the clearing in the woods where you met. Thank the spirit animal for taking you on this trek, for giving you your initial message. Watch it walk away. And let the imagery forest fade away. Back into your body as it is right now. In the space that we're in right now. And let the drum fade away. Take some deep sips of breath. Stretch your arms overhead and pull your feet together. And exhale, hug your knees into your belly and chest. Roll over to one side of your body and rest in that side fetal position for a moment. Keep your eyes closed. Even though we went through that shamanic journey fairly quickly, I want you to take a mental note of everything you saw, every color that was vivid, any message or gift received, and emblaze the imagery of your reflection in your mind as well. Because anything that came up for you through that meditation was specifically and uniquely yours. So hold on to this so that when you're back in your car, you can look to see the symbology of the color of the animal, of the message. Anything that stood out in that meditation. Build yourself up to take a formal seat. So the animal doesn't have to make sense to the woods. It could be a whale. The gift you could have received, one time I received a stream. And I was disappointed because it was a stream. But then when I looked up the symbology of the stream, it made complete relevance to what I was going through in life at that time. So anything that you remember or recall, look it up because it's a message for you. And bring your hands to prayer position at your We'll close our class today. Om Shanti. And we all be freed at peace from anything out of our control, anything imposed upon us by another, or any internal concerns or stressors of our own. Om peace, peace, peace. We develop peace that passeth all understanding. Thank you guys for showing up today. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. Remember, it's maybe energetically or emotionally a little intense in this eclipse season. Be kind to yourself. Practice some self-compassion. Next week, I will focus on the eclipse and the energy of it. Before that, though, I will be also doing a Sunday workshop here from 2 to 4. And it's going to be restorative, and we'll be doing a release intention setting ritual for the eclipse. Sunday 2 to 4, and then I'll be back next Sunday. A beautiful week.